Hey everyone, welcome back to World of Warcraft Classic Fresh and our Orc Hunter. I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you are all doing well. Today we are heading over to the Swamp of Sorrows. Spent a decent amount of time in that zone before, mostly just farming the jaguars and the spiders within the trees. That was to get the gold for our mount, but now we are returning to take care of some general questing for the first time. I think there was a quest or two we've picked up from other zones that we're going to be taking care of. I know there's one from Narcissus in particular. But we'll see what else we can pick up at Stonard and throughout the rest of the zone. This is going to be another interesting one for me just because I have not leveled through the Swamp of Sorrows too many times in the past. And if I have, it was very many years ago. The zone itself was surprisingly small, and it shouldn't be surprising because when you look at it on the Eastern Kingdoms map, it is quite tiny. Like, it's even smaller than like a zone like Hillsbrad, for example, and Hillsbrad's always been a zone that has felt very small to me, but especially from like north to south. This area in the middle is where we spent a lot of time, killing the local wildlife, and the distance between these two roads is not very far. Yeah, so it looks like we need to grab some flanks from the crocolisks that are going to be nearby. We need to pick up a Draenithist shard. That is for the quest in Narcissus. Looks like we've got an escort that we can do. And we've got some stuff we can pick up in Stonard, which we will be sure to do so. So, we should be landing shortly. Let's get started. Swamp of Sorrows is, of course, the home to the Sunken Temple dungeon. I don't know if we're going to get to that or not. The Sunken Temple, I guess it's quite similar to like Maraudin or like one of the other gigantic, maybe like a BRD is another fair comparison as well. It's just like so massive that I feel like it's quite rare to have players go through it all at one time. You kind of do it for like certain bosses, I guess. Bring 10 monstrous crawler legs to Dar in the Swamp of Sorrows.
Farewell!
Looks like we can get those on the coast. Maybe if we're lucky, they'll drop clams that have the zesty meat, I believe is what we need for our artisan cooking quest. We'll see if that's the case, and if it is, then maybe we'll spend a little bit extra time there to farm all those up. That was quest number 1. Let's go upstairs in this building here and grab our next one.
Mukra!
Pool of Tears. Gather 10 Atali artifacts. This is within the temple itself, it looks like. So I think we're going to leave that one be then. I think we'll ignore it. Our quest log is pretty empty. I guess I'm not too worried about our log getting full or anything. We'll just leave it alone for now. I think, and you know what? I think there was a quest up here in the north that might have turned gray to us, and it might be the reason why it's not showing up on our map currently. So I kind of want to investigate that spot a little further just to see if we can actually still do it, if we can pick it up somehow. It should be right in this little gray area here. And you know what, since we spent a lot of time, last episode we were hunting down all the elites for the Hemet Nesingwari quest, we were kind of avoiding all of the beasts in between. But maybe we won't do that here. Maybe we'll kill anything that we see along the way or run into. Which so far is not a lot, so it must be quite busy tonight. Yeah, wow. These swamps are very quiet right now. I guess there are some reasons for players to be here. Only 17 around our level, but the Swamp of Sorrows is a place that you can come in much earlier than where we are at right now. Bunch of level 60s as well. I mean, I guess Temple... The Sunken Temple probably is closer to a level 60 dungeon, I suppose. I never really looked at it that way, but I suppose that could very well be the case. Something that might benefit us as well while we're here in the swamp, because I think we're going to stay here for a couple of episodes, is to collect this white spider meat, which we were previously collecting to sell so that we can make enough for our mount. But now we can actually use it for spider sausage. So I think maybe we can spend a little bit of time grinding here as well while these jaguars and spiders are still green to us, because they probably won't be once we hit level 44. It looks like we're entering the Misty Valley. I don't think this is where we need to be. This is an interesting spot though, because I don't think I've ever gone up here for any reason. I don't see any quests listed on the map though, so I feel like we probably don't need to be here for any particular reason, but there is a cave in the back. And that does pique my interest a little bit. It's quite a cool area. The cave, at least from the outside, looks very ogre-esque. Well, somebody else is here, because there is a dead body. No, I guess not. Somebody was here. There's an iron deposit. Otherwise, I do not see anything. Could be a rare spawn. Seems like a very ripe spot for that kind of thing. Otherwise, nothing to really see here. So let's move on. Let's try to discover this unexplored spot right here up to the north. And see if we can find that quest that I could have sworn I saw the last time we were here. do see some sort of structure over there in the distance. I believe the quest we're going to be looking to do, the Harborage, is going to be related to the Broken. Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what this is here. There's a superior leatherworker here. Masat Tander. It's interesting because I think this is the only zone in the entire game where these Broken exist. So it's kind of like a little preview for Outland and what to expect. But I don't know if you get any of their history here in vanilla, because they've got quite a crazy history at that. Oh, this guy's got a recipe here for the green dragon scale breastplate. This is a mail piece, and it looks pretty awful. This is perhaps built for a resto shaman and nobody else, probably. So I don't think we're going to be needing that. Yeah, here we go. Tranithus crystals. Bring 6 Tranithus crystals to Magtor at the Harborage. They make very odd sounds. Draenei Exile. Okay, so you do actually get kind of a hint, even if you don't get like lore specific stuff. One of them, a couple of them do say Draenei, so it's good that we picked that up because we do need to go to that area anyway to pick up a Dranithist shard for our quest back in Desolus. So I think what we'll do is head straight for Naboru the Cudgel. I think we'll pick that quest up while we take on some of the sawtooth crocolisks in the area. See what that one's all about. And let's get some grinding in along the way. I did scope out our level 44 abilities as well from the Hunter Trainer in Gromgol. Definitely a couple we're going to want to pick up for sure. I know Arcane Shot is a part of that. As well as Mend Pet, I believe. And another problem that we need to work through also is our beast training. I definitely messed up by picking up... what I didn't realize is that pets have a specific number of training points that they can actually acquire, and they can actually be capped out, and in most cases it's not even enough to pick up all of their abilities. And most of those points are gained through gaining levels, alongside their loyalty, so we kind of messed up big time when we took up all of those resistances, which, like, in the grand scheme of things, really don't matter at all. And we've accumulated 35 training points in, I don't know, the past 5 or 6 levels or something like that. And we need like 200 to pick up the next ranks of like great stamina and natural armor. We need even more than that, I think. So I'm not sure if we can get there. With our current pet, I think we kind of screwed ourselves over a little bit, I think, with that one. So any hunters in the comments, please let me know what your suggestion would be, because it's very possible that we may have to say goodbye to Ripper and to pick up a new pet just so that we can have, you know, max out our stamina and our armor, essentially. Seems like we're picking up plenty of this spider silk as well. We'll see if that sells for more than a vendor's. Hopefully it does. Picking up lots of good stuff from pretty much everything in the Swamp of Sorrows is good. But what I really want is to continue to pick up that spider meat. So we are, you know, we've had this soothing turtle bisque for quite a long time now, and it's worked out great, but we are running out. I think we're just about where we need to be. We're getting pretty close. Got some hostile lost ones. We're going to head across the main road back towards the middle of the swamp so we can start taking on some of those crocolisks. Oh, interesting. Okay, so Nabaru the Cudgel is a patrol. And we just happened to accidentally stumble upon him, it would appear. So let's take him out. Take out his little minions as well. So I guess he must have something that he drops for us. Let's check. Yes, Naboru's Cudgel, and it's an actual weapon that you can like equip. Or seemingly equip. Bring Naboru's Cudgel to the leader of the harborage. Yep, that is no problem. Awesome, so we didn't have to actually do anything extra there. Let's continue with these crocolisks. We'll head south a little bit and a little bit east of Stoner just so we can keep killing these crocs. And then we'll eventually head north and pick up the Dranathist related items. So what exactly are we looking for from fresh meat? We're looking, not fresh meat, lack of supplies, unprepared sawtooth flank. Okay. And it is a quest item, so we can't accidentally sell it to a vendor, so that's good. I'm glad that's a thing. Looks like the unprepared sawtooth flank is quite rare, so we might be killing crocs for quite a bit, which I suppose I'm totally fine with. I wouldn't mind doing having a bit of a grinding session while we stay here in the swamp for an episode or two. Well, we just hit the halfway mark. Starting to get a little bit luckier. Honestly, I think it would have been cool to see the Nessingwary camp in a place like this as well, or just like a swampy kind of place in general. I feel like this would have been a pretty good zone for it. We could separate the categories into, instead of tigers, panthers, and raptors, you have crocolisks, spiders, and jaguars, which are all very different from each other. They do, some of them are sprinkled in kind of with each other, but others are actually kind of in specific spots. I mean, the spiders tend to be more on the edges of the zone instead of in the middle. So we've got a solid chest here that we can check out in just a moment. I imagine that these spiders should be pretty good for that white spider meat. Hopefully we get some more of those while we're over here. And nothing special from the chest. Just a gray helmet that we can vendor for some easy silver. We can find more crocolisks on the eastern side of the zone, a little bit closer to the shore. It's also where the zone really starts to open up as well. Got a little bit more territory to cover over here. Why don't we head inside the middle of the lake too, and we'll at least discover the sunken temple for our map, so we don't have a big hole in the middle. Like to fill that up if possible. And then this way we can kind of just like wrap around back over to the Dranathist stuff. We might not get there this episode, but we'll see how far we can get with the other materials that we need to collect. looks to be another cave. Let me go check that out first before we discover the temple. Some murlocs. Ink spewer. Flesh eater. Okay. Stagglebog cave. Well, there seems to be a lot in our way as far as what's inside the cave here. The cave does seem pretty long, though. We haven't gotten a quest for this place yet, nor do I see anything on the map. But this is certainly a cave that I have never entered before. Definitely not. So it does intrigue me, but having to fight through all those murlocs just seems like a little bit too much right now. Let's leave them alone for the time being. Looks like that. I mean, there are some players in the area. I wonder if they're looking to do something inside. Maybe we'll get something in the future. Well, it looks like we've got some panthers in the area as well that we're going to have to contend with. Pool of Tears. Okay, so we didn't have to go too far to actually discover it, so that's nice. For some reason, I remember this lake being a lot bigger than this. Like it was an real actual swim towards the temple. I mean, you still have to swim a little bit, I guess, but still pretty cool. Let's move on. We'll get back to killing some spiders for just a little bit longer. There aren't too many crocolisks, it looks like, on the southern end, so maybe we'll just head straight to the coast. Take on those crawlers instead. And just to check our log, the Clement Surprise needs zesty clam meat, so let's see if we can get those from the crawlers that we kill. We've collected 7 white spider meat so far. If we get one more, that would be 4. I think it's two meat for 1 spider sausage. Yeah, no other ingredients, which is actually kind of nice. I definitely think that's pretty cool. Let's see if there's anything else in our inventory that we can sell. We should really just try to see if... It's been a long time since I've checked the auction house for pricing data. So we'll have to see if any of it's worth it. But yeah, so far we can only create, let's see, 4 spider sausage out of the white spider meat. It's not too much. I mean, it's an episode's worth, I suppose. But I don't know, it just feels nice to farm up our own food every once in a while instead of relying on the auction house for ingredients. I do think that is enough spider killing for now. Lack of surplus. Oh, interesting. So the sawtooth flanks that we need actually get turned in here in the south. That's interesting. Looks like we can find a couple more crocolisks down by, at the coast on the southern end. So let's see if we can find some of those, because we only need 2 more. And it would be good if we can turn this in while we're down here. It would be a little bit of a trip. I mean, we've got a mount now, so it doesn't feel like it would be too long, but it'd be nice to just get it done. Here at the Misty Reed Strand. Got some murlocs here on the coast. To be expected, I suppose. I think we're gonna have to go into the water to find those clams. Got a couple islands here as well, not just to the south, but to the north too, it looks like. Possibly. If that's the case, I would like to check those out too, because I've never seen them before, if they do actually exist. Let's see if we can find some crocolisks while we're down here. It's interesting over here, kind of tucked away, almost, I mean, basically almost in the Blasted Lands. Interesting that the Blasted Lands has this view here where you've got like all this land over here. Like, I wonder if that's all mountains or if some of that's actually like accessible. There's some gold thorn back here, which is interesting, and there is a couple murlocs. I don't see anything too interesting though, like no treasure chests or anything like that, so I guess we'll just head back for now. Oh, yeah, and there are some crocolisks down here, that's nice. Awesome, we just need one more flank. Looks like we've got some of those crawlers that we need too down here. Level 44, it's quite high. Not used to dealing with yellow leveled enemies. On this character at least. Tender crab meat. Interesting. So, not zesty, it looks like. Which I find a little strange because they are like level 43, 44 is the level recommended for the Clement Surprise quest. So you'd think that these guys would be perfect, but I guess not. There's actually a lot more crocs down here than I would have expected, especially with the amount of dots that we're showing on the map right now. Unless these guys are different. Yeah, I mean, it says the sawtooth snappers can also drop what we need, so shouldn't make much of a difference. The final sawtooth flank. Let's get these guys skinned up. And we'll get back to land real quick. We did pick up a clam, a big mouth clam, from one of those monstrous crawlers. And this one has the zesty clam meat. Okay. So we gotta find the clams, which might also drop from the murlocs in the area too. Although there aren't any murlocs to kill at the moment. So let's head back into the water. I wouldn't expect to run into any more crocolisks. I would expect to see a lot more crawlers though. I do see a crocolisk there. So maybe they are just kind of along the entire coast as well. We'll start making our way towards the island that we saw. It's crazy how many dots we have on our map for potential crawler locations, and yet there were so few for like the actual crocolisks. And yet I see way more crocolisks than crawlers at the moment. So I guess we can hold on to the tender crab meat. I mean, unless we just want to sell it, I'm not sure. It could potentially give us skill ups once we do pick up artisan cooking. So I guess I don't want to completely ignore it. So we got a couple little islands here. It doesn't look like there's too much going on. Nothing too special. As we enter the Forbidding Sea. It's a cool location name, I guess. Yeah, nothing here. So we need monstrous. We still need the monstrous crawler legs, which we have not been getting. That was the first one I think we just got. So yeah, this one's going to take some time. These crawlers are under the water, which makes things a little bit tricky. And there aren't too many of them. At least not as many as all these dots on our map would lead you to believe. So this one might be a little tough, but we'll get it done eventually. At this rate, we might get more big-mouthed clams and the zesty clam meat than we will the crawler legs that we actually need for a quest. We're starting to head a little bit too far north. We should turn in the quest for those crocolisk flanks first. Let's get that done. So we're going to be running into some Murloc resistance here. Another solid chest to look at, though. Mistcape pants, cloth, 12 stam, 12 spirit. Yeah, probably not worth the sale price. I don't know who's going to want that combination at this point in their leveling journey. Just did have a gray item in it, worth 1 gold, which is fantastic. Coming up on the little camp to the south. Misty Reed Post. Okay. Got some hunters here. and a shaman,
Strength and honor
and a quest giver.
for the Horde.
6 sawtooth snapper claws. Okay, so we actually have a follow-up here, and those snappers are obviously... I mean, there's clearly some like along the coast inland here as well, but we saw plenty of them in the water too. And we did just hit level 44, which is awesome. So we'll stick another point into efficiency, reducing the mana cost of our shots, and there are no vendors here at this little outpost, it looks like. And I think that should be a good stopping point for today. So as it turns out, still plenty to do here in the Swamp of Sorrows. So we've got at least one more episode ahead of us. I would gather probably one, possibly two total. I think that'll bring us to the end of the swamp and what we actually need to accomplish here. And then we can move on to something else. Probably the hinterlands, and we're working on our artisan cooking quest to get that done as well. That's going to do it for me for today. I appreciate you all for watching. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please consider liking the video and subscribing for more. I hope to see you back here in the Swamp of Sorrows. Take care.